Hi everybody, this is finally my formal review on the Dior Skin Nude Natural Glow Hydrating Foundation. This is actually going to be my second take because I've been going over the 10 minutes. So I'm really going to try to put this concisely in a very structured way for you guys. So I'm just going to give you a background first on how I came about this product. I have not changed my foundation for years because the Laura Mercier foundation, which I have been using, has really been working for me, and it still does. It's really great quality. We all know that. It's an industry standard when it comes to that. So I never really needed foundation, and my searching or looking into the market for foundation was more really out of curiosity and not necessity. Basically brought about by the fact that I have become aware of new products that has been released in the market for the past year or so that have really been getting tremendous reviews because of how they, the finish that they give on the skin. A couple of them, of course, we all know Nars Sheer Glow and Makeup Forever's HD foundation, which probably seem to be head-to-head all the time. I've also come across Korres Wild Rose foundation, which I have seen a couple of reviews here and there. And then, even less than that, is this Dior Skin Nude Hydrating Foundation. Maybe just 2 or 3 I've come across. One specifically by Rachel of Review. I don't know if you subscribe to her channel, but she has tremendous reviews of higher end product brands, and she has tremendous skin as well. And so it's really, and her comparisons are really, really good because she gives you basis of other things. So that was one of the reviews that really caught my attention with regards to this product. So that being said, my basis for my review was essentially trying each one of those products and actually finding that they did not work for me. I was devastated. I purchased each of them. And each of them I had to return eventually after using for maybe a couple of days. I don't know if it was my skin type or it just was either not giving me the coverage I needed, came out blotchy, or made my skin extra oily. So finally last week, I just so happened to be in the Dior counter, and this associate was there because they had the national artist there and they had an event. And she just started telling me more about the product, got me so curious, swatched it on me, and I purchased it right there and then. The texture, consistency, and everything else that I learned about the product, which I would like to share with you guys right now. So that being said, my skin, I have combination skin, which tends towards dry or oily depending on the season. Mostly during the summer, I have a tendency to get oily because of the humidity, and then during the winter, I have a tendency to get really dry. So I really have to switch up my products depending on what season it is. Okay, so that's already a given. So you guys know where I'm coming from. So I have combination skin because we all know that really the foundation will work on different skin types and perform differently. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of read to you guys a bit of what Dior actually says about this actual foundation. So it's a natural glow hydrating foundation with an SPF of 10. It has mineralized water micro droplets which capture and reflect light with the interplay of layers of translucent materials while blurring imperfections. Day after day, more beautiful skin is achieved even without makeup. Exceptionally rich in precious minerals, vitamins, and trace elements. Mineralized water acts like a hydrating and energizing cocktail for the skin. So basically, this product gives you sunscreen protection of 10, not too high but not too low, and I think that's absolutely just perfect because we know that once you start getting into the 15 and 30 ranges of SPF, or anytime there's SPF in the foundation, you will get a reflection when you are photographed, and it's just not flattering for photography purposes. So when you go out at night, the moment you take out a camera and you have SPF on your foundation, you are gonna glow or look greasy. And I think 10 is just right, especially for this time of the year, you still do want some kind of an SPF. Obviously, it's not gonna work if you plan to spend a whole day in the beach. Don't even use it. Use actual sunscreen. So that's basically one of the things. It's SPF 10. And the second major thing, which really caught me, was that it is a mineralized makeup. And I have never seen this form before, because once you talk about mineral makeup, the form we are accustomed to seeing it in is actual powder form. And everybody has followed suit from Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals was the first mineral makeup line I had been aware of. And everybody now has a mineral line, but everybody is in powder form. That's why when she mentioned to me that this was actually mineral makeup, I was curious and I wanted to learn more and want to know how. And so basically Dior's innovation when it comes to this was using mineral water. So instead of using, I guess, this is water-based, and instead of using just regular water or, you know, being oil-based, what they did was use mineral water. I guess like mineral bottled water that you can drink, you know, it has minerals. And I guess it's the same concept, and it's absolute genius, you know, because they have skincare benefits, which is actually what it says as well. And one of its claims is that prolonged use actually gives you better skin. And I know you guys are probably thinking, how is that even possible? I was even very doubtful about that. I never expected anything with regards to that, because I don't know. It's just, for me, makeup is makeup and skincare is skincare. And even if some people claim that it has benefits, like I know Bare Minerals is milder in the skin, less harsh, but I never really did see any improvement or anything like that. And this is where I began to become flabbergasted and just greatly impressed with this product. So the first day I used it, first of all, the first time I used it, I was already impressed. Usually, when I use Laura Mercier, I mix it with other foundations just to get a certain coverage or a certain sheerness or texture that I want. I know I can use it by itself, but somehow mixing my Laura Mercier with my Boots Lifting Foundation just gave a certain texture and consistency that felt better. It blended better in my skin. But the first day I tried this, I said, you know what? I want to see how it is on its own. And that's how I was with the Nars and the Makeup Forever. I never mixed anything with it. So one of the first thing I usually do is, one of the tests that I go through is I don't mix it with other foundations. The second thing is my tool of application. I try using either Sponge, my beauty blender, or my Airbrush 55 from Sephora. So I see how, you know, what looks better, how does it interact with my skin. So right off the bat, I think the first day I used it with the airbrush, and on its own, I did not mix anything, and I was just breathless. I mean, it took me a while to kind of get the groove of actually applying it, but the finish, the coverage that I needed was there. I don't have that much blemish, so I don't need full, but it still looked like it was full. It evened out my skin tone, but the clincher is, it didn't feel like I had anything on my skin. It felt like there was nothing. And even when I applied my powder, and up to now, I've had it on the whole day. Honestly, you guys, it feels like I have nothing. And I don't know if it's the fact that it's water-based and it's mineral water, but I have never felt this kind of texture on my skin with having the amount of coverage that it has. So a few days, and then I tried using it with a beauty blender as well, and that worked out perfectly as well. So I was already impressed with it, and oh no, I'm gonna go over time, so I'm just gonna cut this, you guys, because I can see the clock now, and I'm gonna continue maybe a few more minutes on another clip.